Hello, I'm Austin Heyman. Welcome to Seniors Today, a monthly program produced by the Commission on Aging and devoted entirely to issues and interests of Montgomery County seniors. This month we discuss lifelong learning opportunities for seniors and have a chat with the newly re-elected county executive. But first, the concept of aging in place and the village movement are becoming more and more talked about in our communities. And joining me to tell us more is Pazit Aviv, the Montgomery County Village Coordinator. Well, welcome to Seniors Today.
Thank you. A pleasure to be here.
So what is a village?
Village concepts. Let's start with the first data point. 90% of Americans want to stay at their homes. And that decision to stay at your home could be perceived as a passive choice of remaining with the status quo. But nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, the choice to remain at your home should be a proactive one that calls for action. What would it take for me to stay at the home that I lived in for the past 30 years? I have my connections, I know my neighborhood, but what are the things that would help me stay there as I age? Villages came about as a response to that action. It's a proactive choice of people to say, I know what I need to stay at my home. And the primary goal is to help neighbors connect with other neighbors and form networks of support, of connecting with one another.
So this has sort of all happened in the last 10 years. It started in Boston, and I guess the first village in Montgomery County was Burning Tree. Mm-hmm. But now I understand there are more villages in this area than almost any place in the country. How many villages do we actually have in Montgomery County?
Well, Montgomery County has 13 active villages, 6 villages in development, but I get calls every day from different communities. I think I have records of 20 different neighborhoods and communities that say, I want to start a village. And yeah.
So what does a village do? I understand what you're saying is that it helps you stay in your home, but specifically what do they do?
Villages usually fall under 2 kind of categories of activities. One is the prevention of social isolation. As people grow older, perhaps they've retired, their friends have moved away, kids have moved, pursuing a job elsewhere, and they slowly lose their natural system of support and social connections. And social isolation has been really connected to physical decline, mental health decline, and that's really something we want to buck the trend against. So villages do something very simple. They create a community, an intentional community where people find friends to connect with on a daily basis. They create social engagement activities. It could be at someone's home. I mean, one of the recent examples I've heard of and I really like is Sunday soup night.
Wow.
So people have found that Sunday night is a killer if you live by yourself. So they all gather together in someone's home. Everybody brings their favorite soup recipe. They compete to make, who's the best recipe.
That's a neat idea. Yeah.
I know. And then they just, they have those connections. Some events are larger in scope where they provide educational or informational
So you think
workshops.
that the reducing social isolation is really one of the priorities?
It's a key factor. And some villages tell me, I'm not really a village. All I do is help people connect with one another. And in my mind, you already are a village. You are connecting that fabric of social support.
But I also understand that transportation is rather important.
One of the primary concerns that people express as they age is the loss of ability to drive, whether it be first at night, but then other parts of the day. And if you have lost your ability to drive, it's really debilitates your ability to stay at your home. How are you going to get to the store, to your hairdresser, to your friends, to church, to temple? And so people ask their community, what do you need us to do for you to age in place? The number one request is help me get places, help me with transportation.
So people volunteer.
So people create. So most of the villages, actually, the overwhelming support services that villages deliver is volunteer driven. Villages are grassroots, so most of them are not led by organizations. These are volunteers, neighbors connecting with one another, creating a board or loosely organized planning group, and then they call their neighbors and say, let's do it together. One person may have the ability to change another person's light bulb. One person can shovel the other person's snow or rake the leaves or whatever that person needs.
Including like friendly visiting, I think, is one of the things that...
friendly visiting,
so
friendly calls.
Does it cost to be a member of a village?
That answer varies. So there's a cliche in the village movement, if you've seen one village, you've seen one village. And the reason for that is that every community designed the village based on their own needs and interests and perspectives. And so one village may have staff person, but a staff person would require some financial support. And those villages choose to have membership fees in order to support and sustain their operations. Other villages choose to go under their local civic association. And so the organization, the community infrastructure exists already, and all they need to do is fall under that and develop their resources and network under that. And so that ranges from zero, there's no fee at all to be a part of the village, up to the average is about $350 or $400, but some villages per person per year, annual, and some villages may charge as up as $1,000. In this county, the average is about $400, $500, and most active villages are not charging dues at the present point.
Most are not charging.
Currently in Montgomery County, they have not.
So how does one, if I want to form a village in my community, actually I have a village in my community.
You are a part of a village, but a good one.
But if in a community in the county, because we're a large county with 1 million people, how do you form a village?
Villages are usually formed by just one person. All it takes on one person is to start the
leader,
ball rolling, the visionary, the person that says, I think this is a grand idea, and how can I bring this idea to my community? And then they start talking to friends. Maybe they walk the dog and they meet a person down the street and they say, hey, I've heard of this great concept. And that person echoes that and said, that's a really wonderful idea. How can I join? And slowly they form an interest group that becomes at some point a planning group. So a group of people, perhaps 8, 9, 10 people sit around in someone's living room once a week and say, okay, what do we want? How are we going to get there?
So what is your role as we're about to run out of time, so what is your role as the newly designated village coordinator?
My job is to help those organizations start themselves up and sustain themselves. I cannot start a village for any community. If somebody calls me up and say, can you come and start a village in my neighborhood? I do not have that capacity, nor do I think it's my job. This is every community's choice to do that. My job is to be their technical assistance. You need information about how to go about accomplishing various tasks. You need to learn what other villages are doing. You want to connect with other resources. Whatever you need, you call me up and I help you make it happen.
Call you up. What is our phone number?
240-777-1231.
And we'll get Pazit.
Please do.
That's great. Well, you've given us a lot of information about getting started, and there are a lot of resources that I'm sure you can point people to.
Yes.
And it's just going to be more and more villages, from what I'm hearing.
I hope so. I certainly hope so. I think it's a grand thing.
Thanks for coming in.
Hey, mister, down here. You illegally passed the stop school bus. I'm placing you in timeout, and this timeout means big fines, plus you really could have hurt somebody. That's why school buses are being equipped with video cameras to help kids like me stay safe, so respect the bus.
Did you know there are more than 10,000 county government phone numbers? But there's only one number you need to remember for non-emergency calls, 311. MC311 is Montgomery County government's online telephone information system. Need information? Have a problem or complaint? Trying to locate a county government facility? Call 311. The call center is open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The website is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Welcome back to Seniors Today. The Association of Personal Historians is an organization made up of individuals who can assist others in writing and recording their life stories. And joining me to tell us about some wonderful opportunities are Pat McNeese, the past president of the Association of Personal Historians, and Debbie Brodsky, president of DMB Pictures and also a member of the association. Well, welcome to Seniors Today.
Nice to be here.
So, Pat, what is this personal history saga? What is it all about?
Well, it brings that whole thing of celebrity biographies and celebrity videos to the level of the average person. Technology's made it much easier to do a book with somebody's life story, and personal historians come in and will do an interview. I go in and do an interview. In this case, this man, Firestone, took my life writing class, and so sometimes they may write their own stories, but often we go in and interview somebody at some length and then turn their story into a narrative, put it together with pictures, and do a book, or sometimes do a website like for a family story so everybody can share it. Basically telling the stories of a person or a family so that it'll be there for the next generation.
So there are a variety of ways, including you do videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So what does that mean?
So doing a video personal history is a little bit different than doing a book. With the book you have actually a lot more time involved. Usually you spend many more hours. With the video I'm really trying to capture, me or whoever does one, you're trying to capture the essence of a person, you get a chance to really hear what they sound like and see their gestures and just get to know them so that future generations, whether they've don't remember them, or so they can remember them, or if they've never met them.
30 years ago, I had experience with my mother, who was then 85, and videos were not common. We did I guess you call it an oral history. A professional person like yourself came in, and we did 4 hours of tapes. The key, I think, is what you do is the right questions. What are the questions? And isn't that terribly important?
With video also, I'm really trying to go after those most pivotal moments of someone's life, those really life-changing moments. So it could be something that happened in childhood, or meeting their spouse, or what career they had, but just those key moments. And often we'd like to enhance it with photos and music to really bring a story to life. So it's almost like you're watching your life story on TV.
With an emphasis on story.
On the story, yeah. So you've done a lot of these. I think some of them are more powerful than others, aren't they?
Yes, yes. You know, one project I did, this woman talked about segregation in Birmingham, Alabama. She had lived in the North and had moved down when she was a teenager. What I find so amazing about a lot of these stories is how much they impact the family. So the story, they did this for their 50th anniversary, and she talked about a story about how she was on a bus and how she would move if you were African American, you had to sit behind a sign, and she would move the sign up as far as she could. She'd push the boundaries. And so her second grade granddaughter saw this story and told the teacher the next day, and the teacher didn't believe her. And she said, "No, I saw it on this video, I'll bring it in." And so the mom actually brought the video in, and the whole class saw it.
It's sort of like her own Selma. I mean,
yes.
The movie is so powerful.
Right.
I began to see, well, wait a minute, what is this? What is this craziness? I rebelled. When we would get on the bus, they would have these little signs that you had to sit behind, colored and white, but you could move them. So I would move mine as far to the front as possible.
You also teach classes about memoir writing.
Yes. And there are classes all over with memoir writing. It's wonderful. It's fun for the students. It's great for teaching. I love teaching the classes.
Where do you teach?
At the Writers Center in Bethesda. I've been talking with Montgomery County about doing it in the 2 libraries, but I don't know if that's going through or not. What's nice about the whole the whole thing is a process, whether it's video, class. Right. The process is partly telling the stories and feeling heard, and partly capturing it for the next generation. But the process of being heard, it may be as important as anything else.
Well, my wife was a student of yours, and so we have a wonderful example of the stories that she wrote about her growing up. You know, I also had my own effort. I guess I started with genealogy to do a family tree, and then I got all this wonderful. So I made a book, and it was a long-term project, you know, and I think it does require a lot of work. And I think it would benefit from professional guidance, but it's fun to do.
Yeah.
What do you see? I mean, I express myself, but what do you think the benefits of doing whatever, whether it's memoir writing or putting a book or a video, what are the benefits to the person doing it?
From my own experience, I think it is a therapeutic thing. You know, they talk about the process of those life stages as sort of life review, right?
Yes.
And so you get a chance to feel heard, and it's also when you have someone that's a professional, and so they're a neutral party. They never heard your story.
Neutral but friendly.
Neutral but friendly, right, right. But they're excited to hear your story, and it's a way to sort of process and feel good about yourself. Look what I've accomplished, right?
One of the people I interviewed this year was she worked for the World Bank. She had been through the Holocaust, had survived, and the Holocaust Museum interviewed her for the Holocaust part of her life, but it ended there. They didn't care about what happened after. I interviewed her for 2 hours, and she gave the tape to her granddaughter to transcribe. That was the connection. The grandmother wanted to pass her story on and wanted her granddaughter to hear it.
Wonderful.
And be involved. So it can be done all kinds of ways.
So there is a website from the Personal Historian Association. What is that website?
It's I think it's www.personalhistorians.org. But you can just go on Google and put in Association of Personal Historians.
I looked at it. It's a very rich resource. I mean,
it's wonderful.
There's a blog that has lots of tips for how to do it yourself. And there are, I mean, it's not to say you should only work at the professional. Professionals give you structure. They give you that unbiased opinion. And they give you time and make sure it gets done.
Well, if we wanted to go down the professional, what's the range of costs? Because we're talking about videos, and we're talking, you know, give us an idea of what that might mean.
I think from a couple of $100 if you did something like the very bare bones minimum interview and nothing else, up to tens of thousands, and sometimes you'll do a history of an organization. It will be even more because it's much more complicated to gather the material.
Part of the difference of pricing is also the background and experience that people have. You know, some people.
Debbie's from television production, documentaries.
I worked in television for 15 years, and then I've had this business for 9 years, so I've been doing it a long, long time.
Right, and you've been doing it a long time too.
I have, and I worked in book publishing before, so it's and freelance journalism. So the more you can bring to the table for the product and the process.
It looks like you both enjoy doing it too.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, if you're nosy and you want to hear people's stories, this is the perfect gig.
Well, I found it very rewarding, as you expressed it very well, for the person doing it, and then hopefully for the generations to come. They may not respond immediately, but in time, it's a wonderful thing to have.
I've had so many people say, "Thank God you got Mom's story before she died."
I've had a lot of clients or individuals pass away since we've done it, and there's so, I mean, it's the most rewarding job I've ever had because people are so grateful. To have
Thanks for coming in. It's a very exciting venture that you're both engaged in. Thanks for sharing.
It was nice being here. Thanks.
Are you sure they can recycle us, Clamshell?
Hey, Dylan, we're on a new recycling postcard.
I can't wait to make a new start. Maybe I'll be a red carpet at a big premiere.
And I'll get to paint the White House.
Shh, here he comes. Now you can recycle more plastics in Montgomery County, including #1 PET plastics such as clamshells, deli containers, trays, lids, domes, and cups. We're in! For more information on recycling, contact the Montgomery County, Maryland Division of Solid Waste Services at 311. The wait is over. Recycle more plastics today. Be active, Montgomery. Be active. Be active, Montgomery. Be active, Montgomery. Be active, Montgomery.
welcome back to Seniors Today. I'm so pleased to have the opportunity to talk with our newly re-elected county executive, Ike Leggett. Mr. Leggett, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
Nice to have you back.
Thank you.
Well, early in your administration, in fact, the transition, I think, had vital living for all ages in it. And I remember the retreat you had for department directors, and then at that retreat you said, we need to have a senior summit.
Right.
So it's 8 years later, well, 8 years since the transition. What do you think has been accomplished?
Well, first of all, we need to have another senior summit so
That'd
that
be
we can
great.
make sure we go back and recap on what we've accomplished thus far, as well as look to the next 4 years. And then secondly, I would just like to thank the voters of Montgomery County for the opportunity to serve them and to let the many seniors know that throughout this county, I really want to live up to something I said much earlier, that is to treat all of our seniors with dignity and respect. The people in this county who have really provided the leadership, the resources, and the stability that we have to have this wonderful, wonderful community. That's so invaluable. We need to always recognize that Montgomery County would not be what it is today without those seniors who paved the way for us.
Well, the fact that you have a senior agenda,
right.
I remember it was in the 80s that we had a children's agenda. It
Yeah,
took a while,
yeah,
but you did it.
Yeah. Well, here's what I recognize. First of all, Montgomery County is a wonderful place in which to live, and we have large numbers of seniors who really stay here in Montgomery County. We have a long life expectancy of people in Montgomery County. I think we're either tied for first or very close to the first in the entire nation. But you have to make certain that we do the things that we need to do in order to ensure that that life is one which people thoroughly enjoy, whether it's recreation, transportation, healthcare, and one that I'm really concentrating on now is housing.
Right.
That is to make certain that we have the housing for that transition of seniors, and not only have housing for those who may want an apartment, a townhouse, or what have you, but for people who actually are going to remain in their existing home. That is to ensure that the house is one for which people can remain in. And there may be some retrofitting, so we passed some measures last year that will help people to literally age in place, so that we've got all of those things there, the people who want to move and to get something different, those who may want to live in their existing home to age in place by providing tax incentive for those who want to do so.
That's terrific. I mean, you mentioned transportation, and one of the things that has happened, of course, is the free ride-on for certain hours that that is available.
That's right.
And there's been a lot of thinking about the transportation. How do you get to some escort transportation? The JCA has been involved, and then I think one of the things that has been very helpful is the transportation from the neighborhood to the senior centers.
Oh yes, that's just such
a new
wonderful
thing. That,
but transportation overall is an important element of what we're doing, because for people to feel that level of independence, that to do things on their own, to have that dignity to say, I want to go to the shopping mall now, or I want to go to the recreation center now, or I want to visit someone in a different community within Montgomery County. Sometimes we take that for granted, but for seniors, that's an indispensable element of freedom, respect, and dignity that they have. And so we work very hard on a variety of transportation programs to give the seniors that flexibility, whether it's to the rec center, and we're working with the JCA to make sure that we get those to the rec centers that need it, whether it's a doctor's visit, whether it's simply to go shopping or whatever it may be. We want to provide, and we've provided additional resources over the years to address that concern. But it's really about dignity and respect and freedom.
Well, we talked earlier on the show about the villages. They are also helping because there are volunteers that are helping to drive, and that's a part of the.
Oh yeah, but one of the more exciting ones. I went to the Mid-County Rec Center, and I just happened to drop in a couple of weeks ago, and they had this exercise class there. And they invited me in to come and exercise with them. And by the end, I was real tired. But you know, it was such a fun thing to do, to be a part of that and so forth. but to see the number of seniors that were out exercising, having a wonderful time. So the construction of these new recreational centers that we have has really meant a great deal.
The White Oak Senior Wing has been very important.
And
there are going to be 3 more over time being built, I understand.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're part of the senior community.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, you may not.
Well, you know, I had this incident that happened years ago. I was on the county council, and I had this request by changing illuminating the signs on the roads and so forth. And I said, boy, that's a huge amount of money. Why are the seniors asking for that? Why would we be paying all the money to change the coloration and the size, the font of the sign? And then one night I was driving and it was raining, and I started squirting my eyes to see the road signs. I said, boy, that was a wonderful idea that they had to get this sign. Let me go back and support that.
Well, the other thing that we've been focusing on also is pedestrian safety. That's for all pedestrians, but it's particularly important for seniors. The curb you don't stumble over, and where's the bus stop going to be located? And all those.
Well, from the shelter,
from
the curb, to making sure that the traffic is manageable, to the crosswalk. All of those things are important. To the timing of the light, when seniors have a more difficult time and it takes a little bit longer to cross the street. All of those things you have to look at and look at very carefully, and you simply cannot take those things for granted. And so, as well as where seniors go to shop or where they walk, making certain that they're safe from the traffic in terms of pedestrian traffic.
So this agenda, the senior agenda, which spells out in broad terms what the goals are, now in the next 4 years really has to be translated into more specifics, although we've also identified what's been accomplished.
Right. Well, here's some things that I think we want to concentrate on. First of all, housing, because that's the connectivity. Secondly is health, nutrition, food. Thirdly, it is the area of what I call the recreation, the transportation access. And then fifthly, one that has emerged through the recession is jobs. That is, many seniors now are working or like to find work. They are healthy, they feel vibrant, they want to contribute, and many, unfortunately, in some cases, need the income. And so concentrating on opportunities for work is important as well.
And we've supported the annual job expo. I mean, my goodness, we're 3,500
Jewish Council of the Asian,
which has been, I think, extremely helpful.
Yeah, and one other one that I think is relevant, that is more and more seniors tell me they want more access to technology. You know, people tell me, say, well, I can't, you know, my grandkids don't call, they email or text me.
Right, so. How do I do that? Yes, I find the challenges there. Well, we'll have to catch up with our kids, grandchildren.
That's right.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to see you again.
Same here.
Well, that's it for this month's Seniors Today. Don't forget that you can access a great deal of information about county services for seniors by going to the Montgomery County Senior website at www.montgomerycountymd.gov/seniors, or call the Senior Resource Line at 240-777-3000. And as always, thank you for watching Seniors Today.
Hi, I'm Therese Goldsmith, Maryland's Insurance Commissioner, here to provide you with some tips if you have an insurance claim. Although weather-related events such as hurricanes, tornadoes, and flooding are beyond our control, consumers can take steps to help make the insurance claims process run smoothly. For example, contact your insurance company or agent immediately to report any damage. As soon as it is safe to do so, prepare a detailed inventory of all damaged or destroyed property for the insurance adjuster and for yourself. Take photographs or a video of the damaged property to help document your claim and assist in the insurance company's investigation. Keep all receipts for emergency repairs and for any temporary living expenses if your home is not habitable. Make only those repairs necessary to prevent any further damage to your home or business. Do not have permanent repairs made without consulting your agent or insurance company. And please contact the Maryland Insurance Administration at 1-800-492-6116 if you have any questions. Thank you.